You have a very simple setup, as we find out. You don't even have knobs or switches in your guitar, so let's go right there. The simplest guitar you could possibly have.
Yes. So, this is the Music Man Stephen Egerton Artist Series guitar. I'll tell you about how this came about. Really, though, when I was a kid, I had a Fender Jaguar stolen from me when I was 16. I always really loved the shape of it, and I've always missed this guitar. So anyway, I've been playing Music Man guitars since 1997. Yeah. They make fantastic instruments. I pull them out of the case. They send me one. I pull it out of the case. It's in tune. They're just always right. They always feel great, and I love the people who work there. I love the company. So anyway, I was kind of perusing their website, and I saw this picture of this guitar, the StingRay, and I was like, look, it's got the little kind of a funny bulbous end, like my Jaguar.
Like another Fender or another California company.
Yes, like that other California company. And it turns out that the head of that company had started this company, and this was the first guitar he had designed for Music Man when Leo started the company, and which he very quickly sold to Ernie Ball / Music Man. And so they decided to sort of revisit this shape, and it's a little bit longer headstock, which I thought looked good. So I saw these pictures of it. It has a whammy bar on it, and I don't use those. Just not really kind of my style. And so I asked them, I said, hey, do you guys think you would ever make that guitar with just a plain kind of a Stratish bridge, or just an ordinary bridge? Mm-hmm. And they happened to have a prototype hanging on the wall that had that bridge on it, this color. And so they sent me this guitar. They modified it for me, because normally this guitar has 2 pickups, and it has a pickup switch and a volume and tone knob. I don't use any of that stuff because I'm not a graceful player. That's not a requirement of the music I love and play. So I tend to, a lot of arm flailing around, right? And so the knobs, since I don't change my sound, I don't turn up or down or anything, and I don't switch my pickups, I don't have any need for that stuff. So I said, hey, could you just take that stuff out? So they put plugs in here, plugs into where the switch had been, and sent it to me. And I pulled it out of the case. It was in tune, because Ernie Ball guitars, the Music Man guitars are always in tune when you pull them out of the case. And I put a strap on, and I put it on, and I strummed a chord, and I remember feeling vibrations all through my belly from it. And I was like, whoa, crazy. And I plugged it in and noticed that interesting resonant quality. All the guitars I've had have always been heavy. That resonant quality translated to something I really loved. Now, I mean, come to find out, of course, lots of guitar players like resonant guitars. I'm just a bonehead, and I grew up when, get a 13-pound Les Paul, and that's the only way to go, or whatever.
I've seen you on some shredder guitars too.
Yeah.
Reference in the Filmage, your documentary that came out a few years ago.
There was
some shredders.
When I joined the band, the first guitar I got was a Kramer Beretta. I went in and played a bunch of guitars in Guitar Center. I hadn't had an electric guitar for a couple of years at that point. I had been involved in classical guitar at that time. So I went in and played a bunch of guitars, and I was like, wow, this one's really easy to play. So I got it, and so that's the only guitar I had that had a, like a Floyd Rose or anything like that. And you can hear a couple of spots where I kind of wear on it a little bit on the Descendents All record. That guitar, I got rid of that one fairly soon. It wasn't that it was a bad guitar, just kind of I think one thing that I never got comfortable with about the sound of the whammy bar, for what I liked, is that I could kind of hear it vibrating, sort of, and it just kind of sounded weird. I could hear it like ringing.
And once you hear it, you can't get that out.
That's exactly how it was, and I couldn't hang, so I bailed on that, and started playing, just kind of whatever. But then I landed on a Dan Armstrong. That's what I played for, 10 years. I played those guitars, and that was a heavy guitar. Yes, heavily modified Dan Armstrong. And then when we were on the Warped Tour in '97, the Music Man guys had a little kind of a motorhome, and some of I think Scott Ball and maybe a cousin, or a couple of them were sort of on the tour, and they would kids could just come up and play the Music Man guitars, and I'm go over there and sit and go, God, these things play so good. They're such nice guitars. And so that's sort of how I got to know the company, was just on that night, how to know the guys that actually ran the company.